Hello, truckers. Welcome back to ATS. And yes, I'm laughing a little bit. Oh, man. Yeah, we're in San Diego. And the good news is, hey, it's morning. Morning's here. The morning is here. We're grabbing that load that's blinking over there. So it's early morning. It's like 7 o'clock. So it's going to be all daylight all the way through. I'll tell you why I was laughing here in just a second. I mean, stupid. But then again, you know, why wouldn't it be stupid? So yeah, we're still in the Freightliner. I said Freightliner again. International. I'm in the International. I think I missed my Kingpin. That's not going to be good. Nope. I thought it was usually when you miss the Kingpin and you try to go straight again. It just does a whole bunch of horrible things to your fifth wheel. There we go. Yeah, I was laughing just because before I started recording, I went to take a drink of water, and I'll tell you what, Track IR is great for trucking simulator, except for when you want to go take a drink of water, and then you're doing this, and you're trying to drive at the same time. You're leaning your head back to drink, and it's like, oh, I can't see where I'm going. So I got to learn to do that when I'm at a stop sign or something. There are a few people hanging around San Diego this morning. Stay classy. See if I can get out of here without hitting anything. I might hit something here. No. Oh, so we got a little bit of a journey today. I mean, it's not that long of a journey, so let's, you know. The reason why I picked it, one, it should be a decent journey. It's 600 and some odd miles, is it? What was it? Too much white down there. I can't see what it says. I think it's 650. But we are going to... where am I going? I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Eli or is it L-E or whatever? But that's where we're going anyways. So a little 600-mile journey. And the reason why I decided to take this one is I'm going to be going through a lot of set towns I have not been through before on this profile. So that's what is going to be up for us. There's a good amount of people on the server today. About, we'll just say 500. It's good. I think it was like 490 something, but it's going to go up and down through the day. So who knows what we'll see once we get out of... Boy, I stalled it. That's not good. Yeah, once we get out of San Diego. But since we're kind of like on the main... see, how do I say it? We're on the main map that firstly, you know, the base game map. That's what I want to say. We're going to be in the base game map, basically California and Nevada. That's the base game as you can get. Actually, the base game actually consists of Arizona as well. Just that we didn't get Arizona for like the first 3 months after the game came out. But that's going back quite a ways. Actually, 2016, almost 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years in February. So, yeah. I don't want to say... Well, it is February. What am I talking about? Yeah, actually, when you see this video, won't it be like the actual day it came out? What will Tuesday be? That'll be like the 4th? I know it came... I think it came out in February. Someone's got to know. I can't check on it right now, but I know it's February of 2016. Hopefully I'm right on that. So I don't think we're in it. Yeah, so happy birthday, ATS. You're 4 years old this month. I hope. I hope I got that all right. If not, I may have to edit this part out because then the video will look really terrible, Peanut. Yeah, but they don't know. They don't know why you edited it out. They just figured you did a jump cut. I know. I don't know. Let's just continue driving anyways. Yeah, let's hit the highway here. Yep, still looking for traffic. Let's get the GPS, but no. It's always good to check for traffic. Since this is a day ride, this might be my last ride in the International. I want to make sure I say International for a while. I keep saying Freightliner, so they better come out with a Freightliner pretty soon. So I can call it International. Just got to keep track of my GPS here for a moment or two. And that might be too fast for the corner, but I think we're fine. I'm just trying to keep my speed up. Yeah, I'm going a little too fast. My steering wheel doesn't quite like it. And I have no idea what I'm hauling in that gravel. Is it just gravel? Well, it says gravel. And 17 tons. Alright. did I say 17 or 7? No, 7. Okay. 17. How about shifting? That would be a good thing as well. Yep, just staring at my GPS to make sure I'm not turning off anywhere. So, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but I think they may have changed it. I haven't been through there too much recently because I always try to avoid it. Is I got to go through Vegas today. Oh yeah, Vegas. And that's the funny thing. I know I mentioned it before, but every time it comes up and I'm going through it, I'll bring it up. So when the game came out, yeah, I said, well, I want my home base in Vegas. And, you know, at first it was like, hey, you know, it's all new game, all new stuff. This is fantastic. This is great. And then after a while, it's like, I don't like driving around Vegas. Do not like driving around Vegas. Get me out of Vegas. Buy me a different garage. Change my base. And there we go. I was all set. I think my second garage, I may have moved to Sacramento. And I don't know why I said it like Sacramento, but it sounds better when I say it that way. Yeah, I think I moved to Sacramento. And then when Coast to Coast came out, let's see, did I stay in Sacramento? Yeah, I think, yeah, so when Coast to Coast came out, yep, I was happy to see my state was actually involved. I live in like one of the smallest states in the country. Hello, Vermont, how you doing? So I made my base up in Vermont, and I regretted that move as well, just because basically it's like a one-lane road and a one-horse town up there on that coast-to-coast map. But you know, what do you want? It's Vermont. So, anyways, yeah. Then I moved it again because every time there was an update to the map or whatever, of course, you know, it kicks you back to your home base, and not many good deliveries out of Vermont, and not many good places to drive around up there. So I kind of forgot on my original profile, if you will, where my home base is now. It's been a while since I've been on that profile. We've been on this profile now for quite a bit. So I don't know. I think I may have moved it. I don't know. It still may be Vermont on that profile. But anyways, now I got to get used to my profile being on here in Salt Lake City. I did not say Denver this time. But when Colorado does come out, I probably will move to Denver. And then I'll start saying Salt Lake City. I have a problem with swapping things out. I keep calling this a Freightliner when it's international. I keep calling Salt Lake City Denver. But we do know the next state that's going to be released this year is Idaho, right? Yeah, Idaho. Hopefully there'll be some deliveries for potatoes. Give me some taters and we'll deliver them around. See, I'm doing 65. Got my fuel mileage. We can go 1,700 miles, so yeah, we're all good. Yeah, so we're going today, for me anyways, I'm going through a lot of cities I haven't been through on this profile, so it's going to say welcome to, or you have discovered, all that fun stuff. Which just means I can take jobs from more places. I can search for jobs in those places, in other words. And I kind of like how SCS did that on Trucking Simulator, to where when you start off, you just can't search for jobs anywhere. You actually have to go to discover a city before you can take jobs from there. Kind of like that. But this day and age now, with computers and all that, do you really have to, find some place you can search on the internet? And like, hey, you don't have to have that person-to-person communication anytime now. Mostly everyone just wants to do it via computer anyway, so. But in the old days, it used to always want to be, you got to meet with people face-to-face before they probably would hire you, but now it's just like, yeah, let's just do it on the computer, make it a whole bunch easier. Los Angeles and Phoenix. I just know I'm headed up towards Vegas, so if I see signs say Vegas this way, that's the way we're kind of going. But it was kind of weird because I logged onto the multiplayer, and before you actually log on to the map, it was showing me the local time, and I'm like, Wednesday, 0 hour 0.50. I'm like, oh, so it's 12:50 in the morning. That's great. Here comes another night drive. I'll try to get it. So I tried to take a job that was going to be long enough to where bring us in the daylight hours, so we can actually finally see this thing in the daylight a little bit. Then I logged on the map, and I started just adjusting things in the cab, like turning off the CB radio and whatnot, and I was starting to like, wait a minute, it's awfully bright out for 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm like, oh no, it's actually 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, so that must have been, it must just keeps your time of the last time you logged off on the multiplayer, I assume. Truck lane. Yep, well, I'm in the truck lane. Yeah, so after this week, they'll be back in our Volvo truck. I think this truck looks great, just that the engine sounds are not quite to my style. This is when someone will say, do you know that they're using the same engine sounds on the Volvo as the RZ International? And I'll be like, no, don't tell me that. They don't sound the same, right? I sure as hope not. A couple more months, Snowman, and you're gone. We'll change up with something else. Of course, I could change it at any time, but since it's February, we'll keep the Snowman bouncing around. And I'm hoping today that I'll reach level 36, so I can put my one more point and get 5% better fuel mileage. There's quite a few people that drive around. Like I said, there's 500 people on the server. Yeah, I'm not sorry if you happen to see me on the multiplayer server I'm driving around. I'm not one to honk my horn. I'm not one to blow my own horn. Just want to make sure I'm in 12th gear. Yeah, the one thing about, maybe I just got to adjust my head, but the one thing is being in high or low, if I'm in low gear it'd be 11th, if I'm in high gear I'm in 12th. I can kind of tell by the RPMs and all that stuff, but sometimes you wonder, and I can't really see unless I lean up and over like that, at least on this dash. I did scroll through the dash to see where I want it, and I think, this is the best one for me. Just let me know how many more miles I can go in the tank. And I think on this profile I have it to where it's realistic fuel mileage, which means that your fuel mileage is not based on just a pure average. So when you fuel up, it's not going to say, well, you can go 2,000, just say 2,000 miles, and you can go 2,000 miles. Realistic fuel mileage is, it all depends on what gear you're in, the RPMs, all that kind of stuff, and it'll change. It'll change quite a bit on you. I think that's the setting I have it on. I might be wrong on that, because it's one of those things that you set, set it and forget it kind of a thing. So that's the way you usually do it. So are we coming up on Vegas anytime soon? I really don't know where I am, because I've been jabbering, not paying any attention. Oh, we're only in Barstow. Okay, so I got a ways to go. We're in Barstow, and apparently I have not discovered it. And my guess is by not getting off the interstate, I'm not going to discover it. So that's one thing on ATS and even sometimes ETS I'm not quite figured out, and I think it's all dependent on what kind of roads are down on the map. But sometimes you just have to go through on the interstate and it'll be like, boom, you discovered this town or city. And other times you drive right on the interstate, right through the middle of the city, and no, you didn't discover nothing. You're on the interstate. I think he's just getting up to speed. I think he just left the city or the town, so you can only do 45, so it's going to take a while to get up to speed. Meanwhile, there we go. Just cruising along. No, it's not what I want. I want this. Yeah, so 436 more miles to go. I think it's probably one of those things, if I drove the International over and over and over again, after a while you don't really hear the engine sounds. Just one of those kind of things that you get used to, I guess. I'm mean, don't get me wrong. The engine sounds are not bad or terrible. It's just, like I said, it's not my taste. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't seem, it doesn't have that semi-truck sound, I guess. Or I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the International engine sound. I do have the, I don't know the name of the engine, but it's the biggest engine, the 605 horsepower engine in here. I know there's different kind of brands of engines you can put in here, but this is the 605 horsepower. And right now it sounds nice and quiet because we're coasting. We're coasting through the desert. Yeah, I did think about if I logged on and yeah, hello. Yeah, if I logged on and it was going to be a night ride, I'm like, well, I can either record this, the next day, and hopefully I hit the server just right and the time is fine, daytime, or I can log on to my other profile and display single player, but then again, I wouldn't be driving the International, so yeah, my single player profile, that's I never did any of the money cheats or anything like that in that profile. That's been all done correctly. This profile here, yeah, I think it was for one delivery I did the money cheat. So I think it was like it must have been like level 3, and it's like, man, I don't want to wait until I can afford certain things, so I just went ahead and just, and the I guess the money cheat said, oh yeah, it says give you double the credits on delivery. I'm like, well, I just need one good delivery to do double the credits. And I got done, I'm like, that's double the credits? It was an insane amount of money. And I'm like, do I want to start over? And I was like, the heck with it. Just the heck with it. Only because everyone said, yeah, when you play multiplayer, you got people on there, they run into your trailer, then you gotta, go ahead and fix your truck and trailer. It's a constant. Every trip you're gonna get run into, and I think I only had one trip to where someone just intentionally, I say they intentionally did it, but yeah, they just, I was going down the interstate like this, and well, they kind of just came on over to my side and just said, hello, how you doing? And then they disappeared, so I don't know if they had latency on the internet, lagged out, disconnect, I have no idea. Good times. Well, at least in ATS you have the insurance, so it wasn't that much to repair it, but my trailer was toast. And I'll just say that they were not too happy with me when I delivered the trailer to them. For some unknown reason, when you have like 70% damage on the cargo, they don't seem to appreciate that too much. So needless to say, I got like 0 XP on that, and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you play a multiplayer, we've all been at that point, at one point or another, where someone just came along. But I will say this, since I got back on the multiplayer server, I think it's because, the moderators, and of course I'm going way back when the MP server first got kicked up on ATS. So it's probably been cleaned up quite a bit. You're not getting the people coming on, and I mean, you have those people. I think it's fun to go around, and for them it's probably fun, but it ruins the fun for everyone else. But now it's been a real joy driving on here. I see people most of the time, like when you're in a crowded area, they will stop at the stop signs, stop lights. Now I'll admit I've done this. There's been a couple times where you're in a one-horse town, and you're at a stoplight, and you got like a 25-ton load behind you. It's like, I don't want to stop. So you kind of look around like, no one's around. No one's around. Speaking of no one's looking. So yeah, just mosey on out there. Alright, just checking my GPS to make sure. Primrose. How you doing? Prim Vegas. And again, I don't know if it's called Prim, or I don't think it's called Prime, but it could be called Prime. It's kind of like when Montana finally comes on this map. Are we going to call it Butte or Butte? They do pronounce it Butte, Montana, but I dispute that. So yeah, we're quote unquote in the city, so we got to coast down to 45. While we're doing that, can I? I'm never good at driving third person, or I don't know what kind of push you might call this. And there's our Freightliner, and oh geez, I hope there's no exit coming up that I can take. It sounds a little better out of the cab, but like I said, I do like the looks of the truck. It's really nice, really nice. I think it's the color scheme that I picked up. Now what I should do, I'm driving in third person, I should do this, just to make sure. But I'll drive a little bit outside the cab for you guys. I don't normally do this because, oh man. Yeah, I'm too busy to look at other things, but not when I'm driving. Luckily the cruise control's kind of taking over for me. Now we should be in Vegas sometime soon. If not already. I'm just checking also my GPS, make sure no one's around, because if someone gets near me, I'm definitely going to hop back into the cab. Come on, Peanut, drive straight like an arrow. I'm trying to see the rear tires, because I got this spindles or splines on it. Sorry, I saw a blue dot, but they're on my road, they're on the middle of the road, so yeah, just want to be courteous around other drivers. I am kind of liking the green, so I got like the paint job of the green and black metallic, so depending on which way you look at the truck, you know, it's green, but if you look there, it's kind of like turning black in some areas. I was going to go black and red, but I just can't help not going green sometimes. Green. I like myself some green. And it's kind of nice actually driving a multiplayer. You don't have the wonderful AI traffic. I assume, and this is my personal opinion, my opinion right now is multiplayer traffic is more, you can guess more what the other player is going to do. AI traffic, you never know what you're going to be doing, or they're going to be doing. And let me just hop back in for a while. Don't want to stress myself out too much. Yeah, I still can't figure out why in Trucking Simulator I really prefer first person, and Farming Simulator I rarely drive first person. I think it's because my field of view inside of a tractor on Farming Simulator is kind of narrowed down, and when you work in big implements like that, you can't really see too well the coverage that you have. So maybe that's why you know, it's one of those things you got to break habits out of. So I know there's a couple YouTubers in Farming Simulator, they do nothing but first person driving, and I did ask one of them, like, well, how do you? He said, yeah, it took a while. Just, once you get used to it, you know, you can easily guess your working area that you're trying to cover. Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of listening to my engine a little bit. Trying not to look at the RPMs, just knowing when to shift and get used to the engine sounds. Yeah, it's probably one, like I said, one of those things. Once you get used to the sound of an engine, or you get used to your truck that you're driving, and once you get used to it, it's like you don't even need to look at the RPMs. You just know. Luckily for the snowman up there, I got the AC on for him. It's probably a little bit warm in Vegas. Well, you say the speed limit's 70, and I cannot do 74. I can only do 65 because I'm doing external contracts. And actually, on my external contracts on my World of Truck web profile, I'm getting up to 130 1,000. Is it kilometers or miles on that? I'm gonna say it's on miles, I think, because I got it on all U.S. U.S. metrics, if that makes sense, or U.S. U.S. numbers. 11th gear might be a little bit too high in the RPMs, but we're going to be going uphill, so I might need it. Yeah, how's my cargo doing? Yeah, cargo's doing great. It's one of those things right now, if I had to go back to driving with a keyboard, I kind of went over this last week about when I got my steering wheel, so if you want to know what I'm talking about, just, if you haven't watched it, go watch last week's video. You should be watching all my videos anyways. Yeah, if I had to go back driving a keyboard, oh my lord, that would, I'd be everywhere. I wouldn't know what buttons to be pressing, because, you got all your keys on your steering wheel and your shifter. I'm used to where those buttons are. There's a couple buttons once in a while on my shortcuts on my shifter. It's like, I forgot where that button is. See, high beams, horn. Oh yeah, those are wipers. And I forgot what this one does. Oh, I know what that one does. I don't have it on this truck. Yeah, so the button I was just trying to press is for a lift axle. So like on my single player profile, I have the Volvo truck with the 3 axles. And that button I was trying to press will lift up the 3rd axle, which I rarely use that. Even on heavy loads, I don't seem to need it. Because the one thing it does do, it really, even put down the 3rd axle, kind of hurt your turning radius a little bit, but as it should. How are we doing here? Oh wow, we're just flying along here, aren't we? He says as he goes through Area 51. Right on cue. And like always, when we get to Ellie or Eli or however you want to pronounce it, make sure we always go to a gas station, fuel up, and park it up somewhere nice, so when I log back in, I never like parking in an obvious spot. Then when you log back in, you log in, you hear an engine running, like, oh, my truck's running. Okay, I must have hit the gas pedal to start up the engine. Then you also you can see someone teleporting out of your truck. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's not me. Someone else. Yeah, I'll actually even wait for someone in a ghost zone, if you will. If they're parking in the same spot that I am or taking a trailer out or something, I'll actually wait for them to move before I back in. Unless there's like 20 people in there and everyone's just going to keep back in the same spot after a while, it's like, all right, I could be here all day waiting for an opportunity to back in. That's one thing I don't usually do with track hire. I don't usually like look out the windows too much. In real life, I'm always looking out the windows both sides, but yeah, when I'm doing trucking simulator, I'm always looking like right straight ahead, right here. Occasionally, I'll look to the side like this or that. "30 miles an hour through here." All right, you say so. I'll do a little bit of a speeding. No one's around. Speaking of no one's looking, that's one thing I wish they would clean up just a little bit on their maps. Is we've all been there. You're driving through a city and it says speed limit 55, and also you go through a little section that says 35, and before you can slow down, there's a cop there that gives you a ticket. You'll see the speed limit on your dash like 55, 30, 55. It's like, really? You couldn't have made that 55 all the way through? All right, riddle me this, multiplayer truckers. When you're on the multiplayer server, anytime you're hauling a load, do you put your beacons on? Because I sure as heck don't. A lot of people I see a lot of players putting their beacons. For me, I don't think you should have your beacons on unless you're hauling a tandem trailer, the 2 or 3 tandem trailers, or the heavy load that has all the extra trailers on it, oversized loads, long loads, what have you. A standard trailer, kind of like what we're hauling today, I don't think you should have your beacons on, because when you put your beacons on, to me, that's indicating to me, like when I see you off in the distance and you're coming with your beacons on, it's like, okay, this driver has a longer load, so I might want to give him a little bit. He may need a little bit of my side of the road to make a corner or something. With no beacons on, I just figured, okay, well then when it goes to a corner or a bridge, they should not need any room on my side of the road. So that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people like to have I mean, every time we say beacons, bacons, whatever you want to call them, yeah, people go nuts on them. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have more options on the base game for beacons on some of these trucks. Air horns. I mean, this thing here sounds like a warning buzzer on an airplane or something. Altitude low. Pull up. Pull up. No, just kidding. Yeah, so how are we doing on mileage here? 100 miles. So in SES terms, trucking simulator terms, 100 miles. We'll be there shortly. We'll be there in a jiff. So I think all the towns I've gone through, or there's like 2 more towns I am going through that I have not discovered. We went through, was it No. It's not Barstow. Yeah, way back in California. Yeah, we went through it, but did not discover it. I should know the name of that town because I drove through there so many times in the early days. Yeah, I took that corner a little bit too fast because that corner was sharper than I thought. I almost didn't know I was turning here. Wait, are you doing... Yeah, I know where I am. Yeah. Why? I hate this GPS. I would have just rather drove around. The second I started turning, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know I had a turn. Yeah, I know what you got me doing. I should have just stayed on the road I was on. I did heat up my brakes pretty good, though, stopping to make this turn. I wasn't paying attention. I was just mumbling along, and I'm like, yep, my GPS is like, oh, wait a minute, we're turning here? Really? Yep, now I got to come out here. I got to come to a stop. If I just stayed on the road I was on, I would have been flying through here by now. And I will stop because people are going to be coming through here rather fast. Yeah, I stalled it. You saw it. I'll admit to it. All that momentum we had just because I had to drive through that quote-unquote little town. But at least we're driving in the daylight today. Yay! Seems like it's been... I know it's been at least 2 weeks. Maybe even 3 weeks of driving in the dark. And also, in case you guys haven't seen or heard, but by now it's been like 5 days since that video went out, but I know most people that play ATS like to play Farming Simulator. I do have a Farming Simulator multiplayer server up and going. I'll be headed there right after I get done recording this little shindig that we got going on here. I'll just be popping on there and see what's going on. It's doing pretty good in the first, let's see, server's been up now for like 5 days, and we kind of started small. And yeah, I got a couple players that's always they're in there quite a bit, building up the farm as we go along. You can find the information. Well, the video would be, well, if you're watching this on Tuesday, if you look at last week's videos, you'll see Westbridge Hills MP server. Or if you're on the Discord, there should be something on the left-hand side of my channel where it says Farming Sim MP server, and just click on that, and it'll pretty much tell you the info that you need to see if you're interested in playing multiplayer at all. Any hoozles. Yeah, so next week I'll probably be back in the Volvo. I'll probably change up the paint scheme, so I'll probably drive, we'll take the truck out of the shop, head to a repair place, almost a repair clinic, and we'll change up the paint. I got the big, I think it's called Big Sur. That was like a operation last year. So I need to change, I think I need to change it on up. Anyone around? Oh, as I said, anyone around? Yes, there is someone around. Really, dude? Yeah, makes you wonder about that one, doesn't it? Makes you wonder if when they see the blue dot on a two-lane road like that, they do that on purpose to scare the crap out of the other driver. And that's why I say on the multiplayer server, if you're ever on it and you have a way to record as you're playing, you might want to do it because, yeah, it's good evidence. It's like having a dash cam. You know, if all of a sudden, like, if that guy, well, I say guy, if that driver rammed into me and then typed in the chat like, oh, ban this player here, blah, 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 I'd be like, okay, well, all right, I got recordings of it. On my end, you were way on my side of the road. It almost happened. That's the first time in a long time I had a situation where it's like, why is that person on my side of the road? Well, we're in Eli, so I know we're not too far from our delivery point. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes you're in town, it's like, where am I going my delivery? And it's like, oh, I'm going to one of the construction sites that are like 20 miles outside of the city. La-di-dee, la-di-da. Oh, here we go. I'm still looking both ways if I can. Not that if someone's coming through at 75, once I get out in the intersection, I can do much about it. And once again, just realized I made the whole journey, have not taken a screenshot. That's the only thing that's a little difficult in multiplayer is, yeah, if you want to take a screenshot, you pretty much have to come to a full stop and go back to your garage, per se, and select camera mode. Now, I guess I could try doing it as I'm driving down the road and hit a screenshot. But man, that'd be terrible, for me anyways. Yeah, in single player, you can be driving 60 miles an hour, just hit the escape button, go right back to the garage. But it's fun when you go back to drive and the screen loads in and you're doing like 65 and like, oh, where was I? What was I doing? Where are we going with this hunk of junk? Oh, Bitterman, huh? Somewhere down the road. I probably should have checked. Are we going 11 more miles? Yes, we are going out of town with it. But 11 miles, not far at all. The only thing that sucks about it is I'm not going to be anywhere near a gas station. A rolling stop. See what kind of a parking area they kind of give us today. And if you're wondering why when I enter I don't actually it's been so long now I don't remember, but usually when you pull in it'll say when you pull into your delivery point it'll say parking. Do you want it, you park it for me, I want it easy or I want it hard. But I actually have the setting of most difficult parking, please. There have been a couple where I regretted having difficult parking up. Also, this is going to be one where I just got to pull it in somewhere. Ticket? Yep. I just realized I was more focused on where I had to go, not even realizing that there's a stoplight there. Let's jackknife a little bit here. Hopefully no one comes around anytime soon. Am I going to get another ticket for going through a red light? That would be rather interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, I totally did that wrong, didn't I? Way wrong. Thought I had my wheel turned the wrong way when I first started backing up. And I was like, no, I had it the right way. That's what happens when you only do one delivery a week. You get somewhat decent at it, but you never really get all the rust off. Ding. Parking brake. Disconnect the trailer. Synchronizing your progress. Tell me I hit level 36 today. Nope. So we'll continue. World map, please. Where do I need to go? I mean, it doesn't really matter because we'll be driving the other truck next week anyways. Okay, so I guess I would have to drive down to here. Alright, well, it's not that far. It's not that far at all. Especially when you don't have a trailer. Free as the wind. Well, someday we might have to pay for that stuff. There we go. Let's head to the fuel station. Get us some diesel fuel for the truck. That way next time I do take it out it's full of fuel, but really what's going to happen is next week I'll just be like, swap trucks, and our truck magically will go from here to Salt Lake City. And then I could just easily gas it up when I left the garage, but I try to keep myself in this habit and don't want to get myself out of this habit. You have entered the city. No kidding. I was wondering if it was going to give me a ticket there because I think I went past the line. Yeah, but not enough. Not enough. Today's special. Nothing looks too special out there to me. That's right. I'm like, why isn't, what's going on? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're in the city. You're maxed out. Let's see what this thing can do. I think 80 is the max on the multiplayer server. I'm not going to be able to find out because we are here. Pull on in. Park and brake. Turn engine off. Fill her up. So how much do we spend on fuel for this delivery? There's $300. $400. Go ahead and park her on up. Someone may drive past you and like, why is he parked there? No trailer. And I'll be like, that's a good question. Kind of an odd spot, isn't it? Really an odd spot. And I forgot to take my screenshot with my trailer. Okay. I mean, we gotta admit, that is a nice looking truck. At least I think it is. And screenshot. Lone Star International. So 3 weeks of Lone Star. Like I said, I don't leave your comments below what you think about the Lone Star truck, the way it looks, or even how it sounds. I do like the way it looks. The beacons I'm not happy with, but that's true on every ATS based line truck. That's the beacons we get. After 4 years, that's the beacons that we get. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap up this week's episode, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the drive. I do appreciate you watching as always. And I'll catch you next week in ATS. But until then, have a good one. Yeah, here's the sick horn. Wow, that's loud and terrible.